Hey, what's going on, everyone? What's going on? I got my brother Troy here, and his name is Christopher Hucks. We are we're brothers from another mother, and we're looking to share what we discuss on a daily basis, just with you all, and the topic we want to hit today is depression and anxiety. We both have history of dealing with depression and anxiety, still deal with it. So just wanted to just discuss it a little bit and just share some insight. Um, so yeah, I'll let my brother Troy start us out, and we'll go from there.
All right. I'm not sure if it's breaking up or not. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, I hear it.
All right. So, yeah, as you mentioned, you still have or you're still dealing with anxiety and depression. And I dealt with it for over 40 years. And right now I'm working on a project. Have a website. It's not up yet, but it's called disappearingdepression.com. And I was able to eliminate depression from my life.
Mm,
And along with it, loneliness and anxiety. So I deal with life in a very different way, and I've had many testings of, well, what could have led back to my loneliness and depression if I still had it.
mm,
Because as an example, I went through in this past couple of years a second divorce, as well as the loss of my little co-pilot in life. So besides Jesus Christ in my life, I lost my little friend, my little Pomeranian of 13 years,
mm,
and she's traveled the world with me, and she has transformed the experience of many people who didn't like dogs at all into they were going to steal her from me.
mm,
So that she was that kind of personality and that kind of life, and she was more human than dog. So, and the way that I can relate to that is that I have a new puppy, and she is definitely more dog than human.
mm.
So, yeah, I think what I'd share with people is that my very first transformation came through my coming to know Jesus Christ when I was 7, and my second transformation in life is in my later 40s here, and I did this work called Landmark, and I would highly recommend anybody, including my buddy Chris Hucks there on the other side of this camera, to do this work because he'll find out for himself how powerful this really is, and it's transformative work, not change. So when I talk about change versus transformation, change is in reference to the past, transformation is in reference to the future. And
Mm,
the problem that most people deal with is that, first of all, people often think change and transformation are semantics. They're synonymous, or sometimes even they'll go so far as to say they're really the same thing, and they're not. They're as different as black and white, or light and darkness.
mm,
And so that distinction again is change is in reference to the past and transformations referencing the future. So
mm,
what I mean by that is when you're talking about change, what we're talking about is the fact that most people, even when they put a vision board up on the wall and they've created for themselves this life they want to live, what gets in their way is their past. This baggage that we call it. It's this colloquial term baggage that whether it's a girl referencing her boyfriend or a guy referencing his girlfriend, they call it
mhm,
baggage because they can see it right much more obvious to the other person than it is the person himself
mm,
when it comes to that person's baggage. The more we become self-aware, however, that truth becomes more known to them, right? To the person carrying that baggage. So what happens for people is that they literally throw that baggage in front of them, as in everything that they want to accomplish in their life, even though they have this beautiful vision board, gets stopped up or modified because all of their past comes to bear in front of them, and they walk into that past and that becomes their present. So they start to realize, why is it that I'm still making the same mistakes that I was before? And I'm the first to say, I've done that because my second marriage was much like my first. In the way that I chose this person, even the website that I chose from ended up being the same website. So
mm.
I repeated history all across the board. And in the end, I ended up divorcing another person, and it was a miserable failure in my life. But through it all, it finally uh, it helped me to see the the past that I had not completed yet. And so that's what I'm going to talk about here. It's about integrity. So when we talk about integrity, I'm going to bring another word in here. Integrity is whole and complete. And a lot of times people get lost on those terms that we're talking about. So change, transformation, and integrity, these are the three key words we're going to talk about today. And they are very distinct things, very distinct words, which have very powerful meaning. So change in reference to the past. So when we think about somebody who's gone through AA, right, Alcoholics Anonymous, or some sort of Narcotics Anonymous, NA, they get awards for going so long, so many years. The first year, fifth year, 10th year, and it's the celebrations that they have. And it's, I guess it's cute is what I would look at it now, but it's really comical because it's very simple. If they had something big happen, right, they start all over again. So they lose their 10-year medallion, for example, and they have to start all over again on the count. What is that all about? Well, it's because they're living in the world of change, meaning that it's not that they've eliminated from their lives their addiction. No, they're just managing. And what I'm talking about when I say eliminated loneliness and depression, I mean it's gone.
Mm.
Right? I've had plenty of testings since my elimination of loneliness and depression, and I definitely don't deal with it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So really quick, as far as the idea, a visual for integrity, when you think about a wheel and it's missing some spokes or it's got some broken spokes, what is there to do? That's a key word I want you guys to catch up on. So what is there to do? Well, what is there to do is fix this.
Sorry, everyone. We're having a little bit of technical
Right? But is there
difficulties.
anything wrong with that wheel, a bad
There
wheel?
we go.
So I'll repeat that last part. So when we talk about a wheel that's missing some spokes or it's got some broken spokes, what is there to do is the key phrase that you want to think about now in your life when it comes to bringing integrity, bringing something back to whole and complete. That's the big deal here, whole and complete.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, and something that is whole and complete is something that has integrity. So a person can have integrity, a thing can have integrity, okay? And so all we're talking about here is whole and complete. So a wheel that has some broken spokes, oftentimes how it would occur to people, again, that's another key word, occur to somebody, or how a person could occur to somebody as good or bad. When a person is not necessarily good or bad, their actions are good or bad, but they're lacking integrity, right? They're doing things that lack integrity. Just like the wheel is missing its spokes, it lacks integrity. That's it. It's not a bad wheel. It's not a good wheel. It's just a wheel missing some spokes. So what is there to do? Well, let's replace those spokes and it's good to go. It has integrity again. You could use it. Okay, so now we apply integrity to our past. And what does that mean? Well, we apply what is missing in our past, what needs to be completed so it's whole and complete. And that's what there is to do. So when we start to reflect upon our past, as in all this stuff, this baggage that we never dealt with, and we start to address those things, oftentimes those relate to people. So if the person's no longer living, you can write a letter to that person. If they're alive, you can go and talk to that person and say, and most of the time, those people have forgotten long ago the
Mm.
damage that they might have done to you, and you still remember it. And that's the crazy part. So when we reflect upon those things that affects us today, that baggage that we're carrying around as in those hurts, so baggage equals hurts, then we also move forward in life with fear, because oftentimes we'll apply anger in the opposition of fear as a defense mechanism. This is very
Mm.
common for human beings to do. So what we'll do is we'll throw up all kinds of anger, or we'll be like, I'm afraid, I want to talk about it. Whatever it is, we have different reactions to it, but in general, they're very common. They're very common amongst human beings. So when we learn to deal with it, meaning we actually find what it is that we need to go and complete, and we go step by step and start to literally complete those things, fix it, right? If you will,
Mm-hmm.
have that conversation with that person. Hey, you know what? This happened long ago. You probably forgot about it. I just want to let you know I forgive you. That's an
Mm.
example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that allows you to clear up that one activity in your brain that'll start to make a difference. And as you keep doing these things day by day, as you systematically go through your baggage and you complete those things, as in put the spokes in or replace the spokes that need to get replaced, you start to have integrity in your past, as in integrity in your life. And
Mm.
therefore there's going to come a point where you'll have a clearing, meaning that you'll actually look at life and you won't see all this junk in front of you because there's no junk there to begin with. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's what there is to do now is look at your future and you build based off of that future that you want. So if you want that future that you've put on that vision board, now there is just what steps need to be taken. Just like you did to create wholeness, right? Integrity around your past. Now you want to create integrity around your future, as in what steps you need to take. So if you want to lose a bunch of weight, right, you go into the gym every day and you're spending 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day. That's a whole nother discussion because I believe it's a waste of time for most people, not everybody, but most people to be spending an hour or 2 hours in the gym. Just a waste. We don't have time for that stuff anymore, you know? So anyway, that's kind of a nutshell on the the past and the future, and past being change and transformation. And so the way that we relate transformation and change ultimately to you guys would be this. Think about a butterfly and a caterpillar. And a butterfly came from a caterpillar. But the question is, once a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, can it go back to being a caterpillar? And the answer is, we
Mm-hmm.
all know, no.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know it's transformation. If if you can go back to being a caterpillar and you thought you were a butterfly, well, guess what? You never got transformation. Okay. So a lot of people pretend, right? They pretend amongst themselves, lie to themselves, and think. But in reality, if they go back to the way that they were doing things, then there was only change. They're still a caterpillar because you're going to be in a totally different place when you have transformation for yourself. Just think about what a butterfly can do. It could fly, right? That's an amazing thing. It can fly, and we can fly too as human
Mm-hmm.
beings
Mm-hmm.
when we find ourselves in transformation. But we're not able to fly. We're going to crawl around on this ground when we are in change. I'm getting a call. Sorry, there's an interruption. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but no more video.
No more video. Okay, cool. Well, actually, I'm going to need to cut it short because I'm pulling in. But do you want to cap it off?
Yeah. I'll cap it off. Yeah.
I know
So, yeah, appreciate you sharing all that that insight, Troy. It's yeah, I feel like that's gonna benefit a lot of souls. And the biggest thing, the biggest bullet points I'll hit with that is definitely transformation instead of change. We have to transform for present and the future, like you're hitting. And then I think when you're talking about integrity and it being the whole person, I think a lot of people miss that point. So I think how you got in depth about that, about the whole integrity
exactly a whole
piece.
person. Yep,
Yeah, creating a whole person. And
that's right.
yeah, I think a lot of people, like you're saying, they try to make this change all at once. But that was a good reminder that it needs to be one step at a
It takes
time.
time.
Takes
It takes
time.
time.
Takes
Yep.
time. You got to be patient on yourself. So no,
With
that's a lot of good
yourself.
insight.
With yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
With yourself. And just listen, it's everything is in the language. The reason why I'm so specific about the way I say things, the words I use, is because literally we can change a word. So I'm going to use that word here. We can change a word and it's going to make all the difference. Just think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. When you think about having a bad day and I say, hey, you know what? Try this. Smile for about 10 seconds. Okay. How do you feel all of a sudden? Do you feel the same way about the same thing that you were just thinking about?
Mm.
No, you can't. It's not
Yeah.
possible. Just start
Yeah.
smiling. Every time you start feeling negative, start smiling. And your brain will literally open up. Ideas start pouring into your head because what was stopping you is the blockage, the thing that wasn't working for you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's a transformation right there, just
Yep.
by choosing a different word. All right.
Yep.
So I
Absolutely.
got I gotta go. I gotta go.
Very
My
good.
my lovely date's here. All
There we
right.
go. My boy
Okay.
Troy got his date, and hey, good talking with you, man. And we'll connect soon. Take care.
Okay.
Love you,
Sounds
everybody.
good.
Take care
Take
now.
care.
Bye now.
All right. Take